Sister Sadie, this one I'm afraid I'm going to be a little long-winded on because I have a bunch I want to share with you. And if these are things that you've already heard and or checked out, please feel free to blow right past them. But in the chance that you haven't heard some of these things that I'm going to play for you, I hope that these are as impactful for you as they were for me. First, I don't know, 3,000 times I've heard them. Let's do the basics first. Regarding the modules, we're looking at module from Unit 2 under Form and Structure in AABA Tune, which obviously you guys are in graduate school. You can you can label an AABA tune by now. So we are beyond that, and we're 32 bars, right? All that stuff is pretty straight ahead. Field changes and everything in chapter 3, or I guess module 3, I am going to leave for a recording that I want to play for you. I'm going to go to module 2-4 right now, and obviously one that you all picked up on is the break in this tune, right? The rhythm section plays that 1, 2, 3, during the A sections. The bridge straight ahead and swung, the A sections referencing the original Horace Silver recording here when I talk about that. And that's a very iconic rhythm section phrase. And a lot of Horace Silver's music is, I should say, it gives us that. Horace was really wonderful about giving the rhythm section figures to, latch onto, and again, maybe to use as development material or just to really impact the melody of a chart, in this case being completely alone. The primary structure point, this is module 2-5. I guess when you're playing a modal tune and then it moves, it's kind of like I would say it's kind of like impressions or so what. How when you're playing D minor for 16 bars, then you go to E flat, that shift up a half step, that's a pretty important part. And I would say that that's a similar thing here, where it's G7 for 16 bars, and then obviously the bridge slams in. So I would say that obviously the top of the chart and the top of the bridge, as is the case with most of these tunes in an AABA style. And we did already mention that this is 32 bars. Like I said, everything in the style department I want to save for a specific recording, and I'm going to blitz right on to an interesting point that a lot of you made on modal harmony on 4-3. And quite a few of you had that it was, straight home and bluesy. And I'm sure that bluesy because, it's nothing but dominant seventh chords here. But I found that to be an interesting adjective when it's modal. It's one sound for 16 bars, and then that same sound again happens 8 bars later for another 8 bars. So the harmonic rhythm of the blues is much different than a tune like this, and quite a few of you had that in there. I thought that was a really interesting adjective, and again, I'm internalizing that as just it's so dominant driven that it's got the same kind of flavor to the blues. But it's an interesting point to hear you use the word bluesy, and I don't want to say that it ignores harmonic rhythm, but it almost in a way makes me think that chord quality can trump harmonic rhythm. And not that I'm, looking to make some huge artistic statement about that, but just for my own sake, it really got me to think about, what the term quote unquote bluesy means to me. And it was insightful to see that quite a few times, and I hadn't really thought of it that way. So I thought that was, an interesting point. 4-7 is, which verse 4-7 at? Pedal usage. That I'm going to call up a recording on, and play something specific on that. 5-5. This one is the module on digital shapes, where Denny kind of references a tune like Isotope or Recordame, how this shape right here, is pretty common. It's got a different ending, but that is, pretty common throughout. And then obviously on the bridge, it's right there. All the points that you made on Sister Sadie, I mean, it's a relatively straight ahead tune, and I'm there with you on that. There's not too much that you're going to get from. No, I shouldn't say it that way, but I guess if you're just looking at this tune on paper, it's pretty straight ahead. So something that really, I guess, would drive my creativity is how can we really do some stuff to a tune like this, because it's so moldable, it's so straight ahead that you almost have freedom. Not that you don't know any tune, but because this tune is so much a part of the canon and we have such a preconceived notion about how this tune's going to go, I think it offers you the ability to really stretch. And one recording that I'm going to play for you does just that. I apologize for any messages coming through. I just saw I got a message about our curriculum over at work, so let me put on that do not disturb. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to play for you is, let me go down here. Woody Herman's Sister Sadie. This is, in my opinion, this is when Woody Herman's band was at their peak. In the early 60s, they were just on fire. Jake Hanna was playing drums. And if you've never heard Sal Nistico, he was a Philadelphia tenor saxophone player. He was, from what I've heard, he passed away way before I was even an idea. But an incredible sax player, very humble guy, but had a real bad juicing problem. And that is eventually what killed him. But when he was together and he was right, I mean, this guy was just out of control. So I'm going to play this recording now just to accent the point on pedal usage. They do it at the beginning of this chart. And this chart was arranged by Nat Pierce, who is the pianist in this band. The ensemble is just pristine, though. Bill Chase is playing lead trumpet. And again, this is Sal Nistico. So here is Sister Sadie. And hang on, let me get rid of that. I got something else happening here. Oh, yeah, I was listening to that on Spotify. Camel Walk, that's great too. All right, so here is, I'll just play this for a while. Here we go. Here is Sister Sadie. So just, again, to reiterate the point, we're talking about the use of pedal happening right here, where you can hear the bass walking, but the trombones and the band, they're just banging out that, they're banging out the G, right? Here we go. It's Phil Wilson, who was on the Buddy Rich Band for a while. I mean, it's so there, man. These guys are killing it. This is Sal Nistico coming up right now. Hang on to your hats. Oh my gosh! Here comes Bill Chase up top. Here you go. Oh. Man, that's just disturbing. Man, that cat's just blowing his brains out. So yeah, that's Sound Mystico from Philadelphia. And, you know, the chart itself has that instance of pedal usage, and I'm not turning Sound Mystico off. So if you haven't heard that, you gotta, you know, watch it 300 times and just try to keep your jaw off the ground when he's burning. Another version of this song that is just, it is just wonderful with regards to creativity, with regards, to feel and, you know, the grooves thing, that whole module 3 under style analysis. Sorry. You know, there's so many great versions of this tune. The Maceo Parker one is really cool too, but the SF Jazz Collective. If you guys haven't heard this is pretty serious right here. So I'm gonna play it, and we'll you know, do a little talking about it as well. So here it is if you haven't heard it. I'm going to stop this and turn it back up again so you can hear the drums up top. That's important. Here we go. All right, so let's stop right there and let me call up the lead sheet for this again, and you know, talk about what's happening here, just in case you can't hear what's going on. Now, again, you need really great players to be able to do stuff like this, and you need a really creative imagination. And somebody like Robin Eubanks, who I'm pretty sure is the one penciling this one. You know, you just, the creativity here is just, it's out of sight. So we start out with drums. Ding 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 ding. So our times here, ding 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 ding. And then the bass, boom 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 boom. This groove right here is the sound of 5/2. There's 5 happening in the drums, and there's 2 happening in the bass. We'll go back and check it out again. Once the bass comes in, that's what really solidifies the 2 feel. Ready? Here it is at the top again. Bass is 1 and 3. 1, 3, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the drums. So you've got 5 and 2 happening at the exact same time. Creates a whole different kind of groove right here. But the melody, boom, boom, ba-doo-doo-doo, go off of the bass. Ba-doo-ba-doo, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still that 4/4 melody, but with the time of 5 over top of it. Bass is playing 1 and 3, and 1 and 3 doesn't move throughout the whole thing. 1, 3, 1, 3. Now we're in 4th. 1, 3. Still there. Still there. Back to the 5. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Right? Here we are. Back to our groove there in 5 over 2. Now we're going to go to a straight 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And our time stays here. So now we're Sister Sadie in 5. And what are the drums doing? Yep, you guessed it. Now that the band's in 5, now the drum's back the other way. And now we're going to start to rallentando and slow down just because we can to create the dream sequence. And what should Sister Sadie do now but bust out a funkin' 5? So now we're here on Sister Sadie. Listen to this harmony happening here. Listen to this groove. Oh man, the break and then the drop again, that's never going out of style. So we're here on Sister Sadie. You're no longer in Horace Silver territory when you're hearing stuff like this. Right? I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and I will put this cut up on my notes for this so you can check out the whole thing. So we're tenor solo the whole way here. We're funk the whole way through. And let's come out of the tenor solo, and we're going to get our backgrounds again. Thematic material that we had earlier to get into the solo coming back. We're double time for the original key, or from the original time. 1, 3. Straight ahead. Dig this. Oh, it's not that one, it's the one after this. This is all straight ahead. Avishai Cohen sounds amazing here. I'm going to fast forward, right? All right. So coming out, this is a, blistering choruses of Sister Sadie. Not to diminish what Avishai Cohen is doing. He is amazing and he's killing it, but just to try to consolidate this video into a watchable video, I'm going to move on. Here it is. Look at that little shift. Hear that? If you didn't hear that. Ooh! Why not? Why not? And where are we at? We're back to our funkin' 5. And we're grooving here. I'm going to let it get to where we need to get to. Eric Hartland sounds amazing on this. Alright, so here we go. got one more, sorry. But this groove, you know, we're no longer in Sister Sadie world. Bass solo, right? It's grooving like this, and then here's your end, right? Oh, it went a little bit too far. Quote from the head, bam, and then you're out. That cut, in, for me anyway, really, it just blew my eyes open to possibilities musically. These guys are all, inspiring musicians, and what they're able to do with time. This is kind of a realization of maybe our own limitations as musicians with regards to how we interpret time and meter, modulating the way that they do metronomically. Harmonically, I think we all have a kind of an idea of what we want to say harmonically, or maybe we feel a little bit more comfortable with it. But metric modulation and rhythmic modulation, oh boy, there is, we are ready for more of this to happen on a tune like Sister Sadie, which we just talked about a few minutes ago as being so vanilla and so ready for something like this. So again, I'll put this in the notes. I hope, you dug it. And if you didn't, man, I'm sorry to waste all that time. But boy, oh boy, do I love it. One more thought, I guess, while we're on this. A way, harmonically, like an idea that, that came to my mind on this chart is it really comes from the original recording of this. Sister Sadie, Horace Silver, and it comes from the backgrounds during the solo section, right? I know you guys have all heard this, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit further, or the out course. I think I said backgrounds right here. This spot. So during that section right there, right, there's just a lot of G7 happening. And, one thing that you can do on a chart like this, which is so open and so G7, is to add in elements of whether it's reharmonization or, any kind of devices that you want. This background, a lot of people know this. If you've listened to this song before, you know that spot's coming. So again, you have a little bit more freedom because of the familiarity of the line. This melody right here, I'm going to snap on instances where, I might want to do something different, right? So here is, comes to the solo, and boom, 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 boom. Check this out. G, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G. So that's a chromatic scale climbing up, obviously. But how that background lines up against a chromatic line like that. Boom, G, A flat, boom, A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G. You could generate a really cool rhythm section vibe or background vibe from the horns using a chromatic scale or using the circle of fourths or, whatever it happens to be. We have 12 notes to use from. So if you can find 12 spots where, in an instance like that, where the melody maybe has some breaking points or some spots where you can kind of reinforce what's going on, you can use things like the chromatic scale to generate new harmonic interest or, again, the circle of fourths or, whatever you're thinking. So anywho, Sister Sadie, I know this is a long video. I'm so sorry, but I really felt like that's, there's a lot that, has come to my life from that tune. And, just looking to share it with you guys. So I hope any of this is helpful. And I thank you if you've made it all the way this far for watching. And again, I hope this only helps, the work that you guys are already doing. So thank you again.